We are back once again previewing the U.S. Olympic trials, and today I'm talking about the hurdles. 100-meter hurdles, 110-meter hurdles, and 400-meter hurdles, men's and women's sides. We're going to be diving into it all. If you haven't already, check out all the other previews I did on the 100s, the 200s, as well as the 400s. But let's talk about some of these hurdles. We're going to cover it as quick as possible. Going to give you my top three as always. Let's start off with the 400-meter hurdles. Let's start off with the women. We have a clear-cut favorite here, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. Of course, the world record holder. Of course, the defending Olympic champion, former world champion. She's already run 52.7 this year. I mean, she, of course, is a favorite here. It's really just a matter of, what time is she going to run? Is she going to run extremely fast, try and break, her world record or try and run 51 seconds? I think at the last Olympic trials, she actually broke 52 seconds for the first time, running 51.9. And then in 2022, she demolished her world record, running 51.4. So I really think that Sydney, I don't know if she's going to run 50 seconds. I would love to see it, but hey, she could just run 51 seconds, or she could run like 52 low and just get the world lead. But Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, I mean, it's foregone that she is the clear favorite, assuming nothing happens with the hurdles, assuming nothing crazy. But Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, really looking forward to seeing what she's going to be able to do here. But then behind her, I actually think it's relatively clear-cut in terms of people have been the most consistent in the 400-meter hurdles when talking about the other two. And for me, I don't know if it's in the same order, but for me, I'm going Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. Second place, I'm actually going Anna Cockrell. Anna Cockrell has been having a very, very strong season that I don't know if it's been going under the radar, but it's because, Femke Bol, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, they have been so dominant that it's hard to, really look at, what someone else or anyone else has been doing in the event. But Anna Cockrell, season's best of 53.75 seconds, really close to her personal best. She also has run 53.76 and a couple other times, so she's been relatively consistent. Also, relative to previous years, these are some of her fastest openers. Yes, we're going to talk about another athlete who's a little bit faster, but I do like Anna Cockrell. She made the team last year to the World Championships. She actually made the Olympic team in 2021 coming out of USC. So Anna Cockrell, she's my number 2 pick, and I think she's actually in a pretty good position to contend for a medal when we get to Paris. Now, we'll get to that at some point, but I do like Anna Cockrell as my number 2 pick. Very consistent in the 400-meter hurdles. Then, of course, number 3, I have Jasmine Jones, also coming out of USC. She won the NCAA championships in a huge personal best of 53.15 seconds. That actually is only the second fastest time in the NCAA, only behind Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone when she was all the way back out at Kentucky. So, Jasmine Jones, I really like her for the number 3 spot, only because she's coming off the NCAAs and Anna Cockrell has kind of been, on the pro circuit, really aiming for USAs. I think that's why I'm putting Anna Cockrell second and then Jasmine Jones third. But Jasmine Jones, man, she has not only run 53.15, but she's also dropped 53.87, right? She's also dropped 54.20. So she has that consistency that shouldn't be overlooked. Definitely keep a lookout for Jasmine Jones in these 400-meter hurdles. Whew, behind them, it is going to be tough, right? It's going to be tough to see who's kind of teetering on the edge of potentially making the team. Some of my favorite athletes, I'll be completely honest, I'm completely biased. I have some athletes who I definitely love to see making the teams, love to see compete, and I really am rooting for. Someone like a Shamir Little, got the silver medal at the World Championships last year, got the silver medal at the World Championships back in 2015. She's been a mainstay when talking about the 400-meter hurdles globally for essentially a decade at this point, dating all the way back to when she, got 3 national titles while competing for Texas A&M. She unfortunately has not had the greatest of seasons where hasn't really run fast. I think she's actually entered in both the 400 and the 400-meter hurdles, maybe the 400 to, potentially contend for a relay spot, but man, I would love to see Shamir Little make the team, but again, her season just hasn't indicated that she's on pace to make the team. You also have, again, going to be biased, another one of my favorite athletes, Dalilah Muhammad. Dalilah Muhammad has, in my opinion, this is controversial if you want, but she is the GOAT of the 400-meter hurdles as it stands today. Yes, go ahead, go and comment, go, criticize me, Sydney if there's a GOAT, but I think that Dalilah Muhammad, considering her accolades, considering how many times she broke the world record, considering what she's done throughout her career, she is the current GOAT. But all that to say, I don't think that she's going to be able to make the team only because of the progression that we've seen throughout the season. She hasn't run fast. She hasn't really been on top of her game. She's dealt with injuries and ups and downs. And of course, she is, one of the more experienced athletes. She's been on the game for a very, very long time. And just to put some perspective on it, Dalilah Muhammad made her first global team in 2013, and in terms of global senior team, 2013 at the World Championships in Moscow. Since then, she's made every single team except 2015. She was injured that year. But with every team that she's made, she's medaled at every single World Championships except last year in Budapest. 2013, 2017, 2016, 2021, 2019, right? 2022. She has medaled every single time at the Global Championships, and I mean, unfortunately, this is going to be the first time that I have to say that Dalilah Muhammad is actually not going to make the team. Now, let me actually be clear. Last year, I predicted that Dalilah wouldn't make the team. Again, only based on her season. She completely proved me wrong. And again, I was happy to see it. But just based on what we've seen with Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, with, Anna Cockrell, with Jasmine Jones, I think that's going to be the top 3 for the 400-meter hurdles, but we'll see how that plays out. Let's dip over to the men's 400-meter hurdles. I think it's a very similar situation where we have a clear favorite, Rai Benjamin. He's already run 46 this year. He's already, a multiple-time, medalist at the World Championships, at the Olympics. Pretty much when we're talking about the 400-meter hurdles, it's Rai Benjamin, Alison Dos Santos, Karsten Warholm, and then everyone else when talking about the medals. But Rai Benjamin, I think right now, going to the Olympic trials, not only is he the favorite, not only is he going to win, but I think he wants to put a marker down to say, listen, don't forget about me. Don't keep relegating me to silver medals, to bronze medals. Don't forget, I am very much in the hunt for a gold medal at the Olympic Games this year. Rai Benjamin, I think he's going to put down a very strong performance. I think we could see him run like 46.2 at these Olympic trials, right? He's already run 46.6 or 46.7 this year. I'll put up on the screen just to cross-check, but Rai Benjamin's in good form. So keep a lookout for him. Behind him, it's actually pretty competitive, but I do have Caleb Dean from Texas Tech. He just came off running 47.23 seconds in the 400-meter hurdles. That's number 11 all time in terms of the hurdles. I mean, literally one of the greatest of all time, but when talking about the medals, he's not even in that conversation. But I do think that he's going to be one to make the team in the 400-meter hurdles this year. He's been very strong. He's been very consistent, and coming off that performance, you could even see him dip under 47 seconds. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen, but we could really see him put something down very strong. Now, behind him and behind Rai, it's very competitive. You're talking about CJ Allen. You're talking about Trevor Bassett. You're talking about Chris Robinson. All these guys are very much in the conversation. Khalifa Rosser. So many guys are in that conversation to make the team. But for the third spot, I have to go with CJ Allen. And just going based on what we've seen in the season, he is the most consistent behind all the other guys. Rai Benjamin, of course, Caleb Dean, and then CJ Allen has the most consistent performances. I do think that Chris Robinson also has been relatively consistent, but CJ Allen, considering his experience, made the World Championship team last year. He ran 47 seconds multiple times. I think that he's going to make the team. It's kind of tough because I feel like I want Trevor Bassett to really make the team, considering he's unsponsored. He's been a mainstay, has made, 2022 World Championships, got the bronze medal. 2023 made the team, made the World Championship final, but it's tough. Just going based on what I've seen this season, I think Rai Benjamin, Caleb Dean, and CJ Allen, that's going to be my top 3. But with that, let's dip over to the hurdles, the high hurdles, 110-meter hurdles for the men. Grant Holloway, clear cut, he's a favorite here. He's going to be the one to make the team. I think at this point it's, how fast is he going to run? Last time at the Olympic trials, he ran, 12.81 seconds, number 2 all time, just a hair off the world record. Could he get back to that? I don't know, maybe, possibly. I'm not going to make predictions on if he's going to break the world record or anything. I think he'll go sub 13 seconds, but Grant Holloway is the clear favorite. Then behind them, you have a couple other guys who are very much in the mix, but just giving you my top 3, I think that Trey Cunningham is going to get second place. He's been doing very well to make progress throughout the year. He ran the 100 meters at the Atlanta City Games for Adidas. He then came to New York City. He got the win over, Rashid Broadbell. He's been very consistent, did relatively well when talking about Prefontaine as well. So we're going to see how that plays out. But Trey Cunningham, he's my number 2. And then Daniel Roberts. I think we're going to see Daniel Roberts make another team. He's won, I don't even know how many USA championships he's won. He's made every single team since he, left Kentucky all the way back in 2019. Made it in 2019, made it in 2021 to the Olympics, made it in 2022. Finally, he made it to the final and got a medal at the 2023 Budapest World Championships, got the bronze medal. I think he's going to be able to make the team again, Daniel Roberts. So that's my top 3, Grant Holloway, Trey Cunningham, Daniel Roberts. But don't sleep on someone like Dylan Beard, right? Dylan Beard is actually number 2 in the United States right now when talking about times behind Grant Holloway. It's tough to see if he's going to make the team, but, he could be one who's in the mix. Freddie Crittenden, he got 4th place at the World Championships last year. He's definitely in the mix. But, again, that's my top 3, Grant, Trey, as well as Daniel Roberts. 100-meter hurdles for the win. Man, this is just a whole thing where you can predict any woman to make the top 3, and they can not only make the top 3, but they can finish in the bottom 3. That's how competitive the women's 100-meter hurdles is right now in the United States. But I'm going to give you a top 3 based on what I've been seeing and based on what I think is going to happen. Now, the world leader right now is Tania Marshall. She's run 12.4 seconds in the hurdles, specifically 12.42 seconds, but she also has a couple other performances, 12.45, right? She's also run 12.51, so she's been very, very consistent in that range. But then you have someone like Nia Ali. She's run 12.4 seconds this year, a little bit earlier, right, all the way back in April, but 2019 world champion. She's made the world championship teams, multiple times throughout her career. Last year at the world championships, made the final. Unfortunately, faltered at the start, but she is very much in the mix, and she's an Olympic silver medalist from 2016. She's always in that conversation. Then you have someone like Grace Stark, coming off an NCAA championship title, her first one outdoors in the 100-meter hurdles. She's run 12.47 seconds this year. You also have Christina Clemens. Christina Clemens made the Olympic team in 2021. She made the world championship team in past years as well. She's a world indoor, medalist. So Christina Clemens, coming off of, giving birth last year, she is very much in the mix as well. You also have someone like Alicia Johnson. Alicia Johnson has made world championship teams. She's always been in the mix, right? This year, she's run 12.57 seconds. I like where Alicia Johnson's at. She came off a very strong performance at the New York City Grand Prix, so definitely keep a lookout for her. So many women are in this mix. I didn't even mention Kenny Harrison. Kenny Harrison is also in this conversation to make the team. I mean, man, this is a very, very tough team to make. But I'm going to give you my top three. I'm going to say that, and man, I completely forgot. Masai Russell. Masai Russell is also in the mix. She's been a mainstay. She made the world championship team last year. She made the world indoor, team this year. You also have someone like Tia Jones. Tia Jones, broke the world indoor record, at least tied it, prior to Devin Charlton, eventually surpassing it. But Tia Jones, she's been injured all throughout outdoors, but so not sure exactly what she's going to do here. She's also in the mix. But let me give you my top three to kind of clear things out. But again, let me be clear. Anything can happen. Absolutely anything can happen. And it's going to hurt me to say some of these names, but I think that, man, this is tough. And you can see that I'm kind of struggling because I really don't know who's going to make this team. I think that Kenny Harrison is actually going to win it. Now, it's crazy because Kenny Harrison hasn't run fast this year, but I feel like she has been able to put down some consistency. She didn't run well at New York City, but I do think that Kenny Harrison is going to be able to pull through and win it. She's made every single team that she's contested except for 2016 when she didn't make the team. She broke the world record, but then the USA swept the medals at the Rio Olympic Games. But I do think that Kenny Harrison is in a good position to get on the team again here. She's an Olympic silver medalist, so don't sleep on Kenny Harrison. Got a bronze medal last year, so definitely look out for her. I think Tonia Marshall is going to make this team. Tonia Marshall has been too consistent all throughout this year. Coming out of LSU a couple years ago, she has been a mainstay. She just switched over to Dennis Mitchell's crew over the past year. I think that she's going to make this team too consistent through the year for me to not pick her for the team. And then, oh man, this is tough. I'm like splitting hairs here, but I think that Masai Russell is going to make the team. I think that Masai Russell is going to make the team. I'm going to be honest, I just made the decision in my head right now. I think that Masai Russell is going to make the team. I'm really splitting hairs between Masai Russell and Nia Ali, but I think that Masai Russell has a lot of confidence. I feel like she ran pretty well at the Atlanta Edwin Moses Classic. She's been progressing through the season. I think that she's going to make the team. But man, Nia Ali, with her experience, I think that she always shows up at Olympic trials and USAs. You also have Grace Stark. You also have Alicia Johnson. Like I said, any of these top three could finish top three, but then could also finish in the bottom three. This could be completely different. So those are my picks. All the hurdles, 400 hurdles, 100-meter hurdles, 110-meter hurdles. As always, let me know who your top three for all the events are for the hurdles. Let me know what times you think it's going to take to win these events. Go in the comments, put them there. Let me know. Always appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching.